All right, guys. Today, we know we got something big going on. Shardknocklyfe is going to be coming on in about 2 minutes. So, we got Black Ash, Eduardo, Rob, and 40 Phantom all in chat. Just W's. Appreciate that. All of you just coming in here already. Appreciate everyone just in chat already. So just going to come on to a quick intro. I did not pick anything up this week. There are some auctions I'm watching, so I'm excited for those. And like I said, I showed it last week. My most recent purchase was the Deadfire Crystal Shard. So excited to have that finally in hand. And it's looking like I'm going to start a PSA submission pretty soon. And also, just not Fortnite related, just cards. This weekend, I am setting up my very first sports card show as a dealer. So I'll be making a video on that. So that's coming. That'll probably be Sunday or Monday that I'll release because I'm setting up on Saturday. So just something different content, just something that might help grow my channel from sports card collectors might see that and enjoy that content. And I see King Jake, what's up, man? Rob, what's up? Black Ash, everyone's in here. And like I said, in about 40 seconds, Shardknock is going to come on here and we're going to start the interview. We have great topics. He's going to talk about getting scarce cards, some of his pop ones. He's going to talk about, like I said, a lot of like his pop one cards, scarcity, just a lot of good topics we're going to be talking about. And, it's going to be very entertaining, great content. Like I said, we got 5 people already in here. So, like I said, Daniel, what's up, man? How you doing, man? So, Shardknock, about 10 seconds anytime now, pretty much you're good. And I'll be waiting for you to come on here if you're watching. Like I said, so we're just be a few seconds, I'm assuming, before Shardknock gets in here, and we're going to get started very soon. So. Yeah, like I was talking about, I'm setting up as a dealer as a sports card show, and like I said, I'm going to make a video about that just to help promote my channel in general, not necessarily Fortnite cards, just to get my channel more promotion. I appreciate that, Eduardo. He said like the video. Like I said, I appreciate that. Yeah, if anyone wants to like the video, like I said, really appreciate that. And so we're just waiting for Shardknock. Anytime now, you can click the link and join. It's just waiting on him now. Thanks, Black Ash. Shardknock, if you're having problems, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll try to fix it. But so we're just waiting on him now. And at some point, I'm going to have you guys ask him questions like we did with Rice 2 weeks ago. The chat can ask questions. And all right, looks like we're good to go. Hey, man, what's up? Everything all right over there? Can you hear everything? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Right on. Last time you tried to use different pair of headphones with Rob and it wasn't picking them up, so I think I got these to work.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Are we we're not live yet? Are we about to go?
Oh no, we're live right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Nice, dude. So what's on the docket today?
So I know we talked about in the DMs. You're going to talk about some of your pop one cards, acquiring those scarce cards, and the deal with Eduardo, the in-person trade deal. Cool. And then at some point, we're going to have the chat ask questions. So
okay. Right on, man.
And we could also talk about maybe how you started collecting. I know you talked about that on Taking High Ground with, that's the old price introduced you to these. But if you want to go over that again for people that don't know, you can do that if you want.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. Your call. Any however way you want to guide it is cool with me. And I figure just let it flow and see where it goes.
if you want to start with any recent pickups you want to share, we could do that as well.
I got the. I wasn't sure if you were going to ask or not, but I got the Jaime. I won that Jaime that was at auction.
Oh, yeah.
But I sent it to PWCC to avoid paying the sales tax on it. So I picked it up, but I technically don't have it in the hand.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm sure a couple people in there were following it at least, so probably familiar with it. But yeah, I feel like the pickups have just been getting less frequent because I feel like there's like less stuff that I'm like needing as time passes.
Yeah.
So it's just it's kind of sucks, but just comes with making the progress, I guess.
And Black Ash said was at the 10, the one that went for 1,300.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting pickup. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, because I know you do like the like your prices you're gonna talk about or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you like talked about that one or not, but I figured that if average person saw that, or just like middle of the pack person sees that, I feel like they would think of it as being like kind of higher. But pop 5, I feel like they're not gonna pop up as often. And this one specifically, I remember whiffing on one of these like a while back. These always feel like they were a few months back, but I checked and it was like December, I think. And the last one went for 1325 as well. So I don't know. It's just one of those weird ones that you never see. And then, when it pops up, sometimes it just gets a little out of control, I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, dude. What about you? Any good pickups lately?
About a week ago, my Deadfire shard came in.
Awesome.
But that's pretty much it. It's been pretty slow here. So
beautiful. How's that one look? Are you going to send it in?
Yeah, eventually. I think it's a 10.
Oh, nice, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
Whoo. Oh. What was that a raw pickup?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, obviously it was raw, but was it a auction?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, nice. I feel like it's so hard to keep track of these things because it's like I didn't pick up on that one. Like I didn't catch that one when it was up, so I didn't follow it. There's just I feel like so many with like Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, and then all the different like parallels. It's just kind of hard to like catch them all and give them a follow. I feel like I miss like stuff here and there because of that.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to get into some of your scarce of the Pop 1 stuff that we talked about in the DMs, we can get right into that. Get right into.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I only have 5. Well, I feel like I actually probably have like 15 or 20 because I have a bunch of stupid. Well, not stupid. I just figured like people wouldn't be, sending these in for a while. I actually wasn't even planning on showing any of these. I just remembered that I had them right there. But like,
oh yeah,
the scene cards. Yeah, dude, like. So these are tougher condition than I would have thought. Like the first time that I checked them out, but it was just one of those things where it's like not to try to like get ahead of it or whatever. But I feel like as time passes, people are going to go for like a whole master set of like PSA 10 base, or just when you see like the occasional like low pop card come up, I feel like it makes it more desirable just in the sense of there's only a couple people that can own it. So it was just like a dart throw with the it was like either like what $12 or $15 bulk, and I just decided to go through it. I got a bunch of like those 4,000 count monster boxes from all the gravity feeds that I ripped.
Yeah,
just one of those where it's like I could have like thrown them all out, and I'm sure I threw like handfuls out here and there, but like a 5 years from now thing, if there's somehow these things are popping off, and I would just feel stupid in hindsight that I just threw out free money that that far into the future.
You said eventually people are going to go up to the full PSA 10 sets of all base cards. People are going to need those, and a lot of people didn't take care of those, so it's going to be hard to get those.
That's another thing too. The number one. So I have like 10 of these. Honestly, I thought it being like the first one, posting it and not having many other copies out there. And I think this was also right around the time where one sold for like 120 or 140. I thought that would be like a sneaky play where I could just like get like 10 back and maybe make like 1,000 off of them. But I think I've had one up for a while at like 99.99 and no dice yet. But just like trying to like throw the dart at the just the uniqueness of being like the first card. But dude, that one too, like I probably went through and found like 40 or 50 of them, and just for whatever reason, like the corners, like super sensitive on a lot of these. And yeah, one that I think people will sub like a lot more of just because it's that number one. But I have not seen or talked to many people that are like doing this, and I don't blame them just because it's like, obviously it's not like they're flying off the shelves, having tested that. So who knows? Hold on, I got these other two right here. I'll bring into the.
And one thing about the card number one, there's a BGS 9.5 true gem out there, so that might be interesting someday.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't do BGS. I know like everybody has their own preferences on it, and I feel like you got like the handful of people that think PSA is evil, and like the others that are just kind of on like the lesser, like I guess the less popular companies. But
yeah,
for me, it just kind of comes down to like, how do you establish most of your collection on what is like the standard? So, PSA, I feel like it's the most like widely accepted company. And if for like liquidity purposes and sales purposes, if something's selling for 2 or 3 times in a PSA 10 slab, even if it's a slightly tougher grade, why would you not do that just for, in case down the road, you decide to like sell it or whatever, trade it. I feel like it's just going to make it a little more acceptable. Yeah. So I got these two.
Okay. The checklist.
It's just a checklist.
Yeah.
So stupid. But the one dude that I talk to occasionally, Jason, I feel like he's one of the few guys that I've talked to that has the appreciation for like the legendary base 10s, like some of those that are tough to hit. We were just like going back and forth on a couple of these, and like throwing out the idea of doing the uncommons, or I don't even know if those are uncommons, like the
common, the gray.
What do you call like the 1 through 100? I don't even know what they call this. Like whatever's before the uncommon. But yeah, I was something came up about the checklist, and he was like, yeah, 98 and 99 are like super tough. So I tried to keep an eye out for those when I was ruffling through for the number ones, and I found a couple, and I didn't think that. I thought maybe like one of those would hit just because they got like the purple, like the 4. I mean, it's technically 8 purple corners because you got the back of each one. But yeah, it's just like anybody, like if anybody's like super bored, I would just encourage you to go through like, your base returns from like gravity rips or anything like that. Fat packs, I think, are much worse. And gravity is like the only thing that I would mess with. But even those, it's like once you actually really look at them, it's like it's a pretty tough condition card.
Okay. And to what they say on the back, the 1 through 100, as the silver llama, and it just says common on the back.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Common, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm dumb because uncommon is right after that, so common would make a little more sense. Yeah, nice. I don't know if it's got the okay, and then the checklist is just whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we could bridge that into. So it's not like I have like a ton of pop ones. I feel like as time has passed, and this is only focusing on what I feel like are the like materially in demand stuff for Series 1 mainly.
Okay.
So yeah, we had the like the Shogun in the thumbnail. I mean, this is probably like my favorite pop one card because I feel like this epitomizes this and the Arctic Assassin shard that does not exist yet, that I'm hoping will exist at some point soon.
Mm-hmm.
I have one out in a bulk that I feel like it's probably going to take a couple months to pop, but I feel like 50% confident about that. But yeah, like, dude, this Shogun, I mean, honestly, I don't even think that this one should have got a 10. One of the front corners is like, it's not white, but it's like not perfectly sharp, if that makes sense.
Okay, it's just a slightly rounded.
Yeah, I guess we can call it that. So, I would give the PSA haters the win on this one, but that's where it comes down to. You're eventually like caving on your expectations to some extent when you buy into the PSA 10 label. So I do think with Fortnite, the set registry is going to be like really big on this as time passes. Yeah. Like if you go into it, and like I never like scoped this out before because I always thought it was for like old dudes that just do like vintage baseball and like vintage football. But just like having like the familiarity with like some of those auctions where it's like you'd see a total jabroni like 19. I don't even know what like the important like vintage sets are aside from like 52 Topps baseball and like the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rookie card year, whatever that is.
83, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But you would just see like a totally obscure 86 Fleer basketball is probably a great example for this, but you just see like the totally obscure no name, but he's like pop 7 and he goes for like $26,000.
Yeah.
So like I feel like we already have like proof of interest in the set registry. Like if you go on and look at like just non-sports in general, I think you can look at activity by area and it'll have like Star Wars, maybe. Marvel PMGs is also in there in non-sports, and that was probably the grouping that surprised me the most because I would have thought that like there'd be PMG like registry set chasers, but last I checked, which was probably like a year ago to this point, I don't even think I saw one person in there that was like actively like registering their set. So like just kind of once the pursuit of the shard set like really started to materialize, that's where I was like, all right, let's just like throw them up in here and just like kind of see how it goes. But it's I feel like it's fun. It's like it gives it like a little bit of a competitive feel to it because it's like ranks you and then it'll kind of like adjust based on like the grades you have. And it's a good way to check like what the current pops are on some of them. Although I think at this point they have like Italy, like even if it's an Italy shard 10 designated on the label as Italy, it'll still count that in the total for the pop in on most areas of it. So like the jump shot that I have, it's like pop 1 for USA, but it shows like pop 3, I think, because there's like 2 Italy on there.
Okay.
I believe.
So they still have that problem with the set registry as well, you were saying?
Yeah. And like it's kind of frustrating. Again, like I always know that while Fortnite is very important to us, Panini, the grading company's PSA, it's just like a microscopic part of what they're doing. So like I get that, but I emailed their like you could send like requests in there and ended up like talking to someone. And I think she was like the registry manager and she was gonna put me in touch with whoever like oversees like their database and like just like the entry of it. So I tried my best to articulate the explanation of why it needs to be broken out, and we made a little bit of progress. I think they added like Italy. It was either like an Italy or something. They added like a couple helpful set options, and then just didn't do anything with the initial request. And then they pretty much like stopped responding to me. So kind of frustrating there, but just like and is what it is kind of thing. And whatever. If it promotes everybody still kind of like being in like one collective group with it, then it is what it is. And I'm sure that thing will be like loaded with a lot more people as time passes. So
yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But yeah, okay. So yeah, in general, I feel like I only have like 5 pop ones now. When PSA opened back up with bulk after COVID, and it was a much more opportune time to send in like all the hollows that were pulled from like gravity rips.
Yeah.
I had a few of those back then, but then I think everybody else just kind of like piled in, and those eventually got to I don't know if Dynamo Hollow. I think there's more than one Dynamo Hollow 10 now. I can't remember. Maybe here I can pull it up here real quick.
Yeah, that'd be great. I didn't know that one finally got a 10.
Yeah. Actually, dude, hold on, don't hold me to that. I haven't,
because I don't know. I don't keep up on the hollows too much. That's not really my thing, but
yeah, it's like I feel like I'll go on like a like a little run here and there when I'm like diving into these, and then I'll just kind of like dig through the whole thing and try to like pull some like cool like data points out, and then just I'll forget about it. A bunch of time will go by, and I just won't even mess with it. Say, actually, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I keep checking the shards at least, and Okay, yeah, holofoil pop 1 Dynamo.
PSA 10 pop 1.
Yeah, 27 nines, 8 eights.
All right. So yeah, that's. I mean, you have that one. I mean,
Mm-mm.
you know where.
Honestly, if I did, I would I'd probably either hold it because I know it's going to be like super tough to have another one hit,
Mhm.
or knowing a couple people that are like trying to pursue that set, try to like work something on that angle. I can't remember now because the one collector that I talked to that was like going after a lot of those, we were doing a lot of back and forth on that. I ended up giving him like a decent handful of some of the ones that I hit that he needed, and we did some trades. But I don't know if he ended up hitting it or not. I'll try to like check that out this week or something and see if I
Oh,
can like find anything on it.
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, like that's one where I think if there was like a lot of like hype around it, not like hype, but just the like somebody hit it and then they sent it to auction. Like I could see a card like that going for $1,000
Oh
just
yeah. I
for
could.
like the set build and like what we're talking about with like the obscure 86 Fleer guy that
Mhm.
goes for 25K.
And Dynamo's not that obscure. I mean, she's a top tier card, skin, and game. So, I mean, I wouldn't call her obscure really, even at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's another good point. That's another good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I thought she was obscure at first because she was rare, but then like once I start talking to like all like the guys in the community,
Yeah.
that's when you start to realize like which ones are like actually like game relevant and are probably gonna be more likely to increase at a favorable rate over time.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's like you're talking about. I mean, Heim going for the 1300 back in December. She has like no in-game usage, but low pop, and she's a legendary. I mean, that could really do a lot for a card.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's why I got the other base that I had out wasn't it's not a pop 1, it's a pop 2, but I've hit both of them.
Yeah,
Black card.
yeah,
So I just kind of group it in there because if I didn't send the other one, it would still be a pop 1. But I know like the other guy that I know is going for it, wanted to try to like get one out there that I thought had a shot to help him with his progress. So we ended up hitting that. But yeah, these are just like, even if you pull it from the cleanest pack, there's always just like something wrong with it. So I don't know if it's like the way they cut it or just the way that it's like, shuffles around in the pack over time. But
yeah,
dark background doesn't help on Blackheart.
yeah. There's that dark blue, so yeah, I can see why that one's one of the harder ones to gem.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I got the I got the 4 that I posted on. I think I checked them and they're all still pop 1s.
Okay.
So I mean, I could probably just like hit them in a numerical order here. So jump shot and moniker.
All right.
Um, I traded for. Where's my? Okay,
We can see
I
the jump
traded.
shot, bit of glare on moniker.
Yeah, it's. I feel like you guys all have like your like go-to setups. I just have this like fake light that I try to angle so it doesn't like make my forehead look shiny.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I gotta work on my setup. So yeah, I got jump shot and moniker. And again, it's like like when I posted about all these, it's just kind of like I'd like just like to raise awareness to the fact that it's like kind of a big feat that only you know not only but like 4 almost 5 years have passed with this, and there's conservatively debatable, I know, but the number that I've come to settle on conservatively 100 of these,
Mhm.
and we could let me just check out like moniker.
Yeah,
A
and like
moniker. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, so I was going to mention what you said about the print run with the 100. Like everyone thinks it's like the 100. That's the common consensus. And I've been seeing some other things recently. Like a few months ago, people were talking about the order that they're in the pack and the pairings. But I personally don't think that matters. I think the math you posted a few years ago talking about how it'd be 100 with the even number of cases and boxes, that it's 100. That's what I believe.
Yeah, for sure. Like the only other thing that could make sense would be 50, but like that number just feels like kind of low.
I don't think.
Um, but yeah, I think it's always something that I go back and forth with. And one day it'd be cool if we could find like that rogue Panini employee that could like
Yeah.
get into the system and tell us how much of it was printed. But yeah, I think like with Series 1, other than just assuming because it's what they did in Series 2, having like the even like 50, 50, 50, 50, I feel like there's no other option. It's just like it would make sense in hindsight now that we know it exists to have SPs and SSPs. Like if they were still doing it, if they were still licensed for it and doing it, like I think that would be super cool. Or even like variants, kind of like contenders, because I know you're into like sports too. So like football contenders, maybe not
The
recently,
rookie
but like
SPs from contenders.
dude, like Tyron Smith when there was only like 23 of those, and they only did base back then.
Yeah.
Like I remember those would get up to like $900, $1,000, and he's just like a Cowboys lineman.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Series 1, it just it all feels even to me, and then Series 2, I think that's when you get into just the numbers of the print of each category kind of back up based on the collation that there's going to be more legendary and there's going to be less rare and epics. Yeah.
And then also
no, you got to go.
So I was talking with the there's more commons than legendaries. So there'd obviously be less common cracked ice than for Series 2 than legendaries. Series 2, because of the way the pairings worked out, obviously, there'd have to be more of the legendaries to even out the number per pack,
Yeah, exactly. I think it's 50, 60, 60, 30. So I feel like the 60, 60 with rare and epic probably makes those the hardest to find. And I think that kind of like is supported by like, Autumn Queen. I know Yonder, there was like periods of time like a couple years ago where just like 4 to 6 months would go by and we wouldn't see one.
Or like 8-Ball, that's an epic, you never see him. Ruby, or never see her.
There you go.
Rustler. Yeah, the list just goes on of cards you never see.
Yes, Rustler, dude. Damn, I think I actually hit a 10 of her like 2 years ago, and I sold that one.
That's a PC card for me, so.
Damn. That honestly like might have been like so long ago that it would have been like before like we connected on here. Just to because I feel like we've been like, to like talking on here like, quite a bit for some time.
Probably close to a year now, right?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so no, these two I got in a deal for a BK Hollow 10. That was like one of those where, and I feel like similar like topic of discussion for like the like Eduardo trade where it's, if you're like pursuing certain needs, sometimes you got to give stuff up. And, while BK is in a class above, just about everything, doing like the hollow versus shard transfer, I think it's okay to like give up more on the hollow side in BK, getting like 6 or 7 shard 10s in return for it.
Do you give up a BK Hollow 10 just straight up for the moniker and the jump shot?
Oh no, I probably got like 5. It was either like I think it was either 6 or 8 in the trade. I didn't write this one down, and I honestly can't remember what the other ones were. I just remember that I didn't have any good shots at 10 with these two. So that was, so I will say these two, and there might have been one other one in it if I could remember. The motivation of the trade was based on these. Like there was probably a couple others in there that weren't as low pop, but I still didn't have. So it was just a matter of sacrificing. Like I think I knew at that time that it would feel like a lot for me to go after hollows and shards. So kind of just like making the commitment to the shard play and go, trying to go all out. I do think like BK Hollow 10s are going to be like very sustainable and like very strong over time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But just kind of is what it is kind of deal.
I like that trade because like you said, you gotta stay committed to what you want, and you want those shard 10s. You gotta stay focused.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's tough, but I don't know. I was I feel like borderline degenerate ripping all those gravity cases during COVID, so I ended up like pulling a few of those. I think I ended up getting like 2 of them to 10.
Wow.
So I feel like it sounds like wow, but like I probably, dude, I must have ripped like maybe like 40 cases or so.
Jesus. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there's like a long-term aspect to it. Like rip it all now, knowing I'm going to get the cleanest stuff that's going to be the most subbable. And then, I probably have like 75 middle, probably middle to low tier, probably more so low tier hollow tens, just like chilling.
Yeah.
And I feel like as time passes, hopefully there's like more interest in those, and I'll have opportunity to move them. But for now, they just collect dust.
Yeah.
Yes. So all right, two more, and then that'll do for my pop ones.
Okay.
But Mesmer.
Yeah.
So Mesmer, this one I got. I want to say in summer 2021.
All right.
So I got into it in summer 2020. Bought a bunch of Italy shards for the first 6 months because I didn't really know the difference, other than like I knew of the difference, but like I just didn't feel there was much of a difference between the two.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like ramp up USA until like 2021. And then midsummer there, when I was like, selling a lot of football stuff, getting, ready for the season, because that's when it's like peak height.
Yeah.
Ended up finding a dude. I feel like he's been like long out of it since, but he had like the binder, and like shards were so tough to come by, and I had like so much FOMO with them.
Yeah.
I think I ended up buying like probably 6 or 7 of them
Okay.
off of them for like 4K. Dude, some of these were and I feel like if you like buy a lot of stuff and something that's new, as time passes, you're gonna look back and there's gonna be like plenty of whiffs. But I remember there was an Oblivion in there that ended
Yeah.
up like getting an 8. I paid $700 for that. Love Ranger, like pretty similar. So those were not good buys, but the Mesmer was in it. So I subbed it once, and it got a 9.
Okay.
But as time passed and I started to look to like maybe like upgrade some of these to 10s, I went back and like looked at my 9s. So this is another hot topic where like there's going to be people that say like, oh, like you shouldn't crack it because if they give it a 9, like that's the grade. And like in some cases I can see that, but the subjectivity of it based on condition and how fine the line is with this stuff between 9 and 10, I think it warrants it in many more cases versus like football prism. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so crack this one, set it in, got the 10. And this is one that kind of blows my mind because I don't know if there's just, so I did look these up like 5 minutes ago. 8 of each of these subbed, 8 or 9, and then just the pop one. So I don't know if it's a matter of maybe there's just like not as much interest in what people think are like jabroni skins.
Yeah.
So they either like didn't care about them when they pulled them, or they're just, sitting around in somebody's, box one day to be
Mhm.
subbed. But yeah, like, much lower account of that. I feel like we've seen like legendaries, and I think like Skull Trooper alone already has like 24 10s.
Yeah.
So 8 times as many Skull Trooper 10s as that count of 10s is probably every single one of these 3 that have been subbed. So just like a lot of variance there. But
It's like your point that people don't think the cards are any good or the skin's no good in game. I mean, Moniker is arguably like the worst card in the set. You could argue for that in any way because, I mean, in game he has 0 relevance and people overall think the skin is bad. Then it's like, that shard 10, that's still massive because it's a crystal shard. People are going to want those no matter who they are.
yeah,
That's
for sure.
Yeah.
This is the jabroni of 86 Fleer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Mesmer, he's actually kind of used in game, kind of more known than those other 3, in my opinion, from what I've seen.
Okay, cool.
So Mesmer's definitely decent.
But Mesmer for me, so like, obviously like having never played the game, I just like the appeal of like the art and like the collectability combined with like the scarcity and like, like the cracked ice vibe kind of like jumping out at you. Like when I first started buying skins, I searched for like what's like the highest selling because I want to know like what the best one is. So at the time it was like BK and Lux, And then from there, it was just like, like, what do I think is dope? And so, like, if I see Mesmer, it's just like a cool ass looking card to me.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like a cool color scheme, like, black and neon green.
Oh yeah.
So, like, that alone, I feel like is good enough for me. Monica, like, compare that to Moniker, where he's like, kind of like you can't even call him a wizard. Like, I feel like
Just like
Casper's
a
a
guy
wizard.
standing there in a coat.
Yeah, like I feel like he works at like a church or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you see him
Like,
walking down the street.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, I would walk in the opposite direction. And then yeah, so I mean this is like, probably like my coolest, like, best pop one.
yeah.
This one, dude, I still can't believe that there's only one of these. And I know, it's cool to have pop ones, because like it's like collecting a finite in football. Like, it's like
Oh,
so cool to have like the only one. But with these, like, I know there's going to be more over time, so like, why not encourage it, and see if like anybody else like has any out there that they can send in, like, have a shot at. Just because, like, I do think, especially hybrid, once somebody hits another one, if they send it to auction, I feel like that would be like one of the most like surprising shard sales we see, because like
yeah.
enough time has gone by, people know that, like, that's like the one that's probably like eluding anybody that's like trying to go for like the legendary run.
Yeah, and he's big in the Fortnite storyline too, like in the comic books, and people like the skin of the game. People use it, and it was released like 3-4 years ago. So
yeah, so I didn't know that, and I thought hybrid. So just like going off my like not like no game knowledge approach to it, I thought hybrid was like by far like the shittiest legendary out there. And then I was talking to Rob, and I remember it was like getting talked about in like the stream around the same time. I think like he was like brought back like into the storyline or something.
yeah,
And I think like around the same time I had like a hollow 10 up for like $2.99, buy it now or something. And like that got hit. So that was kind of like my notification that I didn't know what I was, talking about, or
and real quick,
basically wrong on that.
so just to go back, Black Ash pointed out a good point about in-game. Mesmer had a whole island. So on the island, the Fortnite map, there's called POIs, point of interest, different locations that you can land at and play at. And
Okay.
Mesmer had an entire one of those dedicated to himself. So people that, obviously like that place, the point of interest, will maybe collect Mesmer in the future because they remember that and have good memories of that place.
Oh
So
yeah, okay, that's cool. I do feel like I'll see like the different like maps just on like social or whatever, if I'm like on like Facebook streams or like Twitter, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll play it at some point. It's just I just, and like I've talked about it before, I think it's just like an ego thing. Like, I know, just like get totally wasted, like probably for like the a long time before I actually got acclimated enough to do it. So it's one of those things where I like leaving it untouched for now.
Yeah.
And if I'm ever like in the video game, I'll just play Fall Guys, because I feel like it's like much more foolproof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like look into much for the like Pop 1 stuff for like Series 2 and Series 3, but I feel like you can kind of like apply the same ideas that we talk about like in Series 1 to like pretty much like anything else that's out there. Like Series 3, and I think like with those series like being so big and the market not having picked up on those yet, there's like way less incentive for people to like send some of this stuff. So like there's probably like a ton of opportunity. Like if you went through like just like the laser checklist and then maybe the Series 2 ice checklist, I bet you would find like a ton of zeros on there. Lasers being tougher with the print defects in Series 3. And the like I feel like those things have like print lines too, like genuine print lines, not like the defect thing on the left side, but yeah, just like the little like indent lines that are like everywhere. Incredibly frustrating. But Series 2 ice, in my opinion, and I think like the Pop would like more than support it, like much tougher grade than Series 1 shards. Like Series 1 shards are super sharp coming out of the pack. And Series 2, you can rip like, 5 megs, and even out of like the clear pack itself, you could maybe only have like 2 or 3 that actually look like decent enough to send in. And, at least like half of those are probably like light back cards. But the, what is it, like crystal? I know some of those are just like impossibly low, and the ratio is just like, kind of disgusting. But I feel like that has to be like a big reason that discourages people from sending. Like if you look at something and you're 50-50 on it at best, and you see that, the 9 of this sells for like 30 or $40, and it's a pop 210 and there's 17 9s out there, I think it'd be hard to throw it in the order thinking, you're probably just going to be stuck with trying to move a 9 that may not sell as quick.
Yeah, and it's like the Ice Queen, she's like pop 30 something, and she has like 28 9s and 2 10s. So,
Jesus. Really? Damn, she only has 2 10s?
It's something like that, I believe, right around there. Low single digits. And it's like I had this, it's a Prisoner Optichrome PSA 10 for the longest time. This was pop 1. And then 1 week I checked the pop. I checked this like every week just to make sure. And it went up to a pop 6 in 1 week. So I couldn't believe it. Went from a pop 1 to a pop 6 in 1 week.
So, well, Prisoner's like, is he game relevant?
Not really. He's more storyline related. No one likes him.
Storyline. Yeah.
He's more storyline related than anything, but not as much as like the other ones. Like the Ice King is way higher, but and you take. He's just like towards the middle, not near the top. He's a little bit. I'd say he's like equal to hybrid.
Okay. Yeah, dude, you got 8 10s on there now.
8 now? Yeah. A year ago it was a pop 1.
Wow. So. Yeah, I think Optichrome, to me, that's kind of like if lasers were printed, if Series 3 lasers were like printed good and they didn't have like the miscut on there and they were cleaner, I feel like it would be more, or maybe I'm saying it like the opposite. Like if Optichromes had more like print defects and like the pops were lower, I feel like those would have like taken off like a lot more at this point.
Oh yeah.
Just because like Chrome Card, I mean, anybody that gets into this, and like I feel like usually whenever I run into new buyers that are like just kind of pivoting over from like sports cards or whatever, just more long established collecting segments, they just want to go for like the PSA 10 of whatever like people are getting into. So like dude that I like just met up with like a couple weeks ago, got in looking for like Series 1 shards, Series 2 ice, Series 3 lasers, and just like trying to find them in like the highest grade he could find for now for like the skins that he's after. But yeah, Series 2, I'm still kind of surprised that it hasn't like taken off as much. And I know that like taking high ground, like Rob and like Dylan have like brought it up a few times, but I think it's just like kind of a combination of maybe we just need like more people to enter, and once like Series 1 like really starts to take off and there's just like nothing available, then people have no other options than to pivot to either Italy, Brazil in for Series 1, or try to like get into a different pivot on the Series 2 stuff.
Yeah, and it's like to that, like talk about eventually and over time what they're gonna have to go for. Like even the hollows, I think even like 9s and 8s will be out of reach for the average collector. I mean, those will for Series 1, just even like the skins. Like I mean, just a skin in the middle. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like I'll say Deadfire. I mean, him in a PSA 9 at some point, I feel like would be at least $500.
I could see that. Maybe like 3 to 5 years out.
I was thinking like 5 to 10 for something like that.
Okay.
Like at some point, I think we'll definitely get there. Nowhere near in the future, but like at some point.
Yeah, I think I think I'm on the same page as that. I feel like I say 3 to 5, just being like more hopeful with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so weird because it's like you want to see what it's going to be in the future, but it makes it tougher to enjoy the present because there's just the unknowing until we actually get there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that. I haven't had hollows like on my search radar for a minute, just because I feel like I'm trying to do like tunnel vision with the shards.
Yeah.
So I don't know like what it's like on the hollow side, and if it's like just like the ratio of print for like the frequency of it, but like like shards alone, when we're talking about if there's 100 of each of these printed, so if that would like run true, then that means that there's 20,000 total Series 1 USA shards, just because 200 card set, 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
or sorry, 200 card set, 100 of
Yeah.
each, and it's like
Yeah.
I feel like we'll have weeks go by where I maybe see like 2 or 3 hit eBay,
Mm-hmm.
and like at that rate, it just kind of seems like a much lower number than I would expect, like knowing that many actually exist, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know like what it's like on the hollow side, but if you're like, following those, I feel like I would be curious to see if it's like, similar, but just, higher, higher frequency because there's more of them printed.
Yeah. I don't look too much into the hollows. Like I wouldn't say I'm like you, but I'm like just laser focused on the shards, what I can get. Not to the
Gotcha. Okay.
card where you are, but just any shard I can get, I'll go for it.
Okay.
Just in a much.
I honestly like a lot of you guys that I talk to are like, because I feel like I probably have like maybe like maybe like 8 to 10 guys that I'm like close enough with to talk to like on a pretty frequent basis, and like anybody that has gotten into it maybe over the past, like, we'll go like 2 years back. I
Okay.
think like I would see you guys enter, and you're buying like what you like from the game, and then starting to get acclimated to like what's like the harder to find stuff. And I feel like a lot of these people that I talk to, it all just like comes back to what you said. It's like people like mainly like settle in on the shards. So I think that's
Yeah.
like a good reason to be pursuing those now. But at some point, it's got to like the simple like supply and demand chart. I think I could like that's when we could really see these take off, is where it's like people just won't settle for anything else. And if like only a few are popping up every week, and we start to see them like hit auction, then that's when we could see like sales really start to take off. Freaking Jaime. Am I pronouncing it right? Is it Heim or Jaime?
I think time.
Okay, well, I've said it wrong like 170
And
times
one
now, probably
cares.
in my life. So
Well, you got
I'll.
the people. What are they gonna say to you? It's like,
Well, they just call me a dumbass who doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's buying it.
hey.
But yeah, I think like great example there. I do, dude. I do feel like we're like maybe 1 or 2 years out from seeing just maybe like mid-level tens like really start to get a lot of action at
Yeah.
live auction.
Because I don't know if you want me talking about the caster, how much you paid for that, but that was interesting just because you need that one for your set, and casters at the bottom of the epics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm good with it.
It.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
paid 1,000 for a caster, which he's right at the bottom for the epics. I mean, but you're going for that set. I completely understand it.
Yeah, and I think he's he's like pop. I don't think he's like a terribly low pop, but it was just one that I hadn't like come across for a while. Of course,
Yeah.
I see like a raw that looks pretty solid pop up like a month later.
Mm-hmm.
So my like approach with all this stuff, and like why I'm okay with like doing that on occasion. It's not like I'm out here just like throwing like whatever I can at at like anything that I need. I feel like I have like my own like personal policy limits on stuff. If somebody's like being a dick on like holding something hostage, I can immediately convince myself that I absolutely do not care about this, and it's just a matter of time until I actually like do find that.
Yeah.
And I'll just like pivot my interest to something else in the meantime. But I think like you kind of have, at least like the way that I've gotten here is like the flip side of collecting, where you're actually like gaining on stuff that you're like speculating on and like moving, and then doing that, while that's like a decent amount more difficult to do now than it was, say, like 3 years ago, it makes it a lot easier to, like randomly pull the trigger on something like that. That's like a true, like collection need. So yeah, but then again, it's like, at what point do we get to the future and, anytime you can find a shard 10 for $1,000, it feels like a steal, just because you have to say there's 50 times more people in it. Any new entrants, for the most part, are doing exactly what you did, and once enough time passes, they decided they just want to like base their collection around Series 1 shards.
Yeah.
So it's it's obviously like more risky, but doing it way like I feel like there's a lot to be said about being able to do something before like the masses even start to think about it. And outside of like our community, a lot of the masses, I think, don't even know this exists yet, aside from seeing it talked about on like Card Talk Pod, or maybe seeing like the occasional like BK go up at Golden, or PWCC like once a year. So it's risky, but what's that?
The blowout forum. I remember you talked about that on Taking High Ground.
There's yeah, dude. I know. I haven't been on the Taking High Ground forum in a little bit. I feel like I was like super hyped about it, and I thought it was just gonna like immediately explode, and then it just kind of like flattened out a little bit there. And then I feel like I just like forgot about it. I need to get back on there and at least start. Is it like are you on there frequently?
No, I was talking about the blowout cards forum that has the Fortnite card topic under there. This.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what I was. Yeah. That's what I meant.
Okay, I got you. So did you ever come across that like on your own when you got in?
No. So I came in right around when you did your interview with Taking High Ground, and I watched that. Then I looked it up after that because I saw you talk about it. So that's when I found it.
Yeah, dude, that thing is gold. I feel like somebody needs to like screenshot like the first like 5 pages of that and save it, just in case like the site ever gets deleted.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like some of the hot takes in there are just like so funny. I logged out of there maybe like 6 months ago. It's just like it's been like a long standing. I don't even want to call it a community, because I feel like a community at least has like a friendly sense to it. It's just a bunch of like aging dudes that are like, getting up there, and I feel like they're just like, there's so much like cynical, like negative shit posted on there. So I just kind of like try to like stay off of it. But yeah, dude, that thread, I think the Facebook, so the Facebook group existed, but that was like literally the only content I could find, was just like this one Fortnite thread buried on this old forum. And then that's kind of what also funneled me to the Facebook group, because it's like, when you're looking for options and there's not that many, at least you're starting where everybody else is starting at.
Yeah.
But
so you're going to the PSA 10 full complete shard set. I mean, you don't have to give like any. Do you have like a percentage? Where you're at? If you want to share that, just the percentage.
I mean, like,
you don't have to. I was just if you want.
I think I'll just say that I'm like a lot further than I thought I would be.
Okay.
And like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, it's I feel like it's like a huge risk being like as like staked into Fortnite as I am. But it's, especially in collecting today, because there was so much flooding of new collectors, we'll say. But I feel like it's I thought, for me, I always looked at it as like anything that's like capitalistic is going to attract like a crowd. And when it was just like super easy to make like an incredible margin on, like, I always use Drew Lock 2019 Prism Base as an example. Just like when it's that easy, it's going to become increasingly difficult if the ease of like profiting persists. So yeah, I just look at this as like, I don't think that we'll have many mega boom opportunities in
Mm-hmm.
cards, and you'll see stuff like Lorcana. Is that
The
how you
Disney
pronounce
thing,
it?
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know much about that.
Yeah, like I just like I feel I have to have like some sort of like passion about something, if I'm like actually like buying it, and I feel like Disney's just like not like that passion for me. Fortnite, I feel like the original passion was just like trying to be like one of the first. Not like I know there was like probably at least like 100 dudes in the group that were there and like really on it before, maybe more,
Yeah.
but just like being like that early, and it ended up like being right. I feel like that's probably what initially like sparked my interest in it. But yeah, so the goal is the full 10 set completion, and um, I feel like I'm like getting there.
Okay.
So, not at the point where it's like, four or five away,
Mm-hmm.
but I think like I would say roughly maybe like 15 remaining.
Oh wow.
Um,
Dang.
yeah, and like if so going back to like the registry, like all this stuff is like public knowledge. Like people can just go into hop into PSA. I don't even think you need an account.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to like registry, uh, so like I do have it on what private, I think,
Okay.
just because like like
Yeah.
I feel like I just like don't want it to be like known exactly like what my needs
Yeah.
are. I feel like my post over the weekend in the Facebook group probably like gives like a pretty good indicator of like what I'm looking for. But
Yeah. I didn't see because I'm not in the Facebook group, so I'm not sure what you posted. So if you want to show
okay.
people in here, you can. What that was.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I like the I feel like for how much progress I've made, like if I would just somehow be able to complete it like next week, I would still want to like not complete it that quickly
Don't
to
want to
keep
get
the
rid
chase
of it.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like the second it ends, it's kind of like like what else is it from there? And I know with Fortnite, like I don't want to go like I don't want to go through like a journey like that again. Uh, Mainly because I feel like it would be nice to like actually repurpose some spending on more football stuff again, and
Okay. Yeah.
like get back to maybe be able to buy my Tiger Woods stuff that I had a while back that I've since moved.
Yeah. You got that in
That kind
joking
of deal.
behind it. I mean, I looked at that on your Instagram. That's so sick. The
Yeah, dude. It'd be nice if his stat line looks sick to start the year off, but we
yeah.
got Deshaun's ass
Yeah.
out there. Dude, he sucks.
Oh yeah, he's terrible. I mean, because I'm in a 2 quarterback league, so I stacked Deshaun Watson with Elijah Moore.
Okay.
That's not working out too well.
Yeah, it's like there's just we I feel like we could talk about that for hours,
Yeah.
but
Get back to the
I hope they turn it
for
around for you.
yeah.
Yeah, today was just like a downer day because I'm a Browns fan,
Yeah.
and up here in Cleveland, so whatever. I think Jerome Ford is going to be dope.
Okay. Well, so I'm
So
a Patriots fan. So I was a big fan of Pierre Strong Jr.
oh yeah,
And
dude.
they
No, my buddy's huge on him.
so I have an optic gold, the patch like the rookie phenom patch, gold to 10 of Pierre.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I'm not saying
Dope.
I'm happy about Nick Chubb, but it's interesting for me, I guess, to say at least. It's an unfortunate event, but
Yeah, like
I'll
all the like virtue signaling that occurs when like a player gets hurt and people like take to Twitter to just like look like a great person.
mm-hmm.
That same person, if they have like Jerome Ford, like
Yeah.
there's no way that they're not like happy about the fact that
Yeah.
they like get the free advantage the next week from there. So whatever, just kind of is what it is. Unfortunate, but part of why they get paid so much.
You said you started in the summer of 2020 with collecting Fortnite?
Yes.
Okay, so we started 2 years apart then. I was just thinking I started summer 2022.
Okay, nice. Yeah, dude, like
It came out.
yeah, okay. So was series 3 what got you into it?
Yeah, so actually one of my buddies that I know from a show, and he posted on his Instagram that Series 3 was coming out. And I was aware of the cards. I just didn't really care about them. I had a few base cards, whatever, that I just picked up and meant nothing to me. And I saw
Okay.
three. So I figured I have an opportunity to get some off the shelves, and I did. And I loved it from there. And, now I'm here doing this. So it was just something
Nice.
different. And I completely quit sports cards pretty much and just started going to this. Pretty much all my extra money went to Fortnite pretty much after that.
Oh, nice, dude. Okay, so you're like in like step 3 of the of the conversion process.
Yeah.
I remember kind of like doing the same thing. But yeah, it's like because I feel like with sports cards, it's like there's just like so much uncertainty, and like the stuff that has more certainty is the stuff with less potential, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like those are like like the LeBrons, like the Jordans, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's cool because it's safer, but like with anything that has more safety baked into it, it's less likely to shoot the moon.
Exactly.
And like if I'm like 70, like maybe I'll buy like it's like some Tiger Woods stuff, but I want to like have something that's got potential to like really be it. And I just like don't see anything else that could well, maybe not anything else, but I just think so many like stars have to align for it to be like this kind of play. And it just like checks all the boxes. I think with like scarcity, demand, interest, appeal. So
Yeah, I thought that exact same thing when I first got in. Like, this is something special. I can't believe these are so cheap right now. Even at the time, I didn't have as much disposable income, and it's like, I was just thinking, because I started collecting before I even had my first job, which is kind of weird to think about, even like for you.
yeah.
It's like I started collecting before I had my first job, so I didn't really have much money to spend. It's like I was just buying like Italy and Brazil hollows, and cheap Series 2 cracked ice, whatever I could get, and then now I start having more money to spend. I started selling all my sports cards that I've acquired. I actually started sports cards in 2014, just like ripping like the Topps fat packs.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Derek
Yeah,
Carr.
I do have one that I pulled, a 2014 Topps base Derek Carr.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I think like anytime like sports like trivia discussions come up, like football mainly, draft class and like what round people went in, it's just like it's so easy to think back to like Gerald Everett is 2017 because like I know what his like I have his Prism rookie card embedded in my head.
Yeah, it's like I feel that too. I mean, from 2016 on, mainly for me, I can tell you like you name a player, I can tell you that draft class there, and it's like just from cards,
Yeah, dude, exactly. Yeah, that was because I got into collecting in like probably like 2009, 10, like when I was like graduating college.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like like small to begin with. Tebow mania. I'm a huge Tebow guy, so like I still have like a couple like dope Tebows that I like a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, like I ended up like oh, dude, yeah, hell yeah. The jersey number, that's my baby. I feel like if I had to be buried with one card, it'd probably be that one.
Tebow red refractor. Yeah.
Yeah. I would leave BK here for, everybody to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like a couple years went by because I was living back at my mom's out of college, and then my mom she didn't like kick me out, but I feel like it just like got to the point where it just like wasn't meant to be from there. So I lived in my aunt's basement for like a year and a half, and then got to the point where I wanted to get my own place. So I bought like a cheap ass like bank owned condo, and I had to sell like everything. I think I kept like one or two cards. Okay. So kind of had to like restart at like maybe like 27 collecting again. And I just got into like, obscure, like deep guys. Travis Kelce.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like there's nobody else on planet Earth that was on him before I was. I had the hands down the best Travis Kelce collection that existed. Basically any one of his that was printed up to like 2017, I had. It got to the point where like there were literally no other Kelce's for me to pursue other than his superfractor that this dude who would buy like every superfractor back in the day when he could just like vaulted, and his finite. So probably like two of his best cards, but yeah, it got to the point where I just like sold those off. And then that's actually obviously like the collection like I wish I would have kept, because I think it was probably only worth like 5 or 10K at the time. But yeah, started getting into basketball from there, and then getting into like LeBron
yeah.
and just seeing like the immediate return that some of his stuff could have, and getting into like the grading side of it, and just seeing like insane returns on some of that stuff was really what sparked me going like all into like cards pretty much with like any disposable income that I had.
Okay.
And then yeah, so kind of like growing that was just kind of, it just got to the point where uh it all culminated to that summer 2020 moment where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let's like I think it'd be like if you like had like a stock portfolio, at some point you want to like play something like super risky. So
Mm-hmm.
this just, like I said, I think I'd probably spend like a whole weekend researching it and just like check all the boxes. And you know, I there's absolutely no way that I would be able to go back in time and tell myself that it would turn into like what it has today.
Yeah, and it's like I even think back to myself, whatever that was like 18 months ago. I wouldn't even imagine some of the cards I have right now. Because even back then, like I have a visitor shard right now. It's probably my best card, super clean.
Beautiful.
And I mean, back then that was like a grand raw. So I mean,
Yeah.
I picked that up from Black Ash and for 450 with 2 other shards, and I mean, I can't even believe that now that I was able to pull that off.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I mean, back then 1,700 for those 3 cards.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you said like 2 years after me, one of the things that I hear from people a lot is like, oh man, like I wish I got into it earlier, like I'm late. And like if you go back and look at historical prices from like when I like maybe not like summer 2020, but like the beginning of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
like not a lot of it has changed since. And I think like in some cases, depending on the first like time point that you use to compare, you could argue that some of it is like, come down a little bit
Oh,
because, we saw like a slight boom. I don't know if you were, it might have been before then, but like Ragnarok, I remember these 2 auctions went, and like the dude couldn't have picked like a more perfect time to, I don't know if he auctioned him or if he best offered him, but he basically sold like a Red Knight 10 for like
11.
11K.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard.
Okay.
I wasn't there at the
Yeah.
time. But I know it happened. Just
Yeah,
moved.
dude.
Yeah,
That was probably like in the middle of like just the general like card market
mm-hmm.
peak, but yeah, that was a pretty wild time.
I remember at that time I was making money off the Kobe tribute LeBron from 2020 Prism Basketball. The one where
the horizontal one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
I remember when like the red, white, and blue was doing like 300. You pull them out
Okay.
a $15 sell pack, and they're easy pulls actually. It wasn't a hard pull. It wasn't an SP. It's just a base card.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. I didn't do any of the 2020, but I did like, I think at one point I bought like I bought like 40 2019 silvers.
okay, yeah.
Like before like they really started to like take off.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like another just like total like booster on the flipping side for like when those things took off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that was a pretty wild time.
Yeah, and I thought when you brought up Drew Lock, I have a playbook rookie auto, the black parallel number to 5 and a PSA 8.
Okay.
So, I mean, I thought Drew Lock was going to be something.
Yeah. When he did like the like the Buzz Lightyear thing, I still wasn't sure if he was going to be good, but I was like, people are just going to like think this dude is like dope.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like, pile in and kind of hit that hit that preseason speculation. Like
yeah.
That's probably like one of the things that's like really crazy to me. I feel like people are just now maybe like tempered their emotions with like the football FOMO, but
Yeah.
it's wild like what people will spend on stuff just on the off chance that like somebody is like that late round hit that Brady was. Like I feel like people care less about losing money than they do looking stupid and not being on somebody to to be there at the start.
Yeah, the FOMO that you're just talking about, it's like just some of these people, that's huge for them that they weren't there from the beginning. They need that,
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely guilty of it at some point. I bought the James Cook finite like a month ago.
Oh, you got the James Cook finite?
Hell yeah, dude.
Wow.
Like he was. I feel like every year I just like I get emotionally attached to like one or two dudes, they got to be like high upside dudes. Like Kelsey was like raw small school Cincinnati 3rd round pick. But I think like our dynasty league is like 2 tight ends. So like tight ends, like you really got to like deep dive for it. But yeah, it just like checked all the athletic boxes. So yeah, dude, James Cook, like people calling him like undersized, having like the underdog aspect to him. That was like my dude. I know, like a bunch of people do like fantasy and dynasty, so he was like a lot of other people's dude. But yeah, it was. I paid $1,500 for it. The dude listed it for like 60,000 or best offer, so it took like a week and a half to just get him to like come down like to reality. But yeah, I think I probably bought it like maybe like a week or so before he had like a pretty good like preseason debut.
Yeah.
So aside from the fact that he's maybe going to score like 1 touchdown this year, I'm feeling pretty good about it right now.
Well, I mean, did you watch the Bills game? You saw the stat line. Obviously, I'm assuming. He went off.
I saw the stat line. I'm like so into like I do like a good amount of like weekly drafting.
DraftKings, yeah.
Yeah. So I do it's called like Battle Royale on Underdog. So I do like a decent amount of those. It's like you just get like a 6-man team, and like for the 1:00 games, I'm just like watching like game casts with like a 1 game on in the background. So I missed Cook, but I'm hoping. I mean, they'll have some primetime games. I feel like they have to.
Oh yeah.
I'll get Rob going on like a live watch James Cook ball out.
Or you could just mention Sammy Watkins in the chat.
Oh, dude. Yes, 2014, obviously.
Yeah. I think we should call it. I mean, we're kind of getting off topic towards the end here, but great having talking to you.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. I appreciate you guys watching.
Oh shit, dude! I always forget to watch the comments in these things.
Rob just said will be good for you talking about. I'm assuming he's talking about James Cook.
Hell yeah, dude! Let's just get him in the end zone. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe just like every other week.
He said no Sammy Watkins talk.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I mean, like I said, great having you on, and we'll still
thanks, dude.
DMs like always.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Later, brother.
Yeah, later.